everyone, my name is Katya and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this tiny purse. You can attach it to a key ring holder or leave it without, it's up to you. It's an easy pattern, perfect for Christmas gift if you want to, and I'll show you how to attach the button. And this is how it looks like on the inside. So let's get to it and create something great. For this project I'm using Caron Big Donut. It's a number 4 medium weight yarn. The color is called Raspberry Glazed. And I'm going to be using these two colors. You're also going to need your 4mm crochet hook, scissors, tapestry needle, a key ring holder, and some sort of a button. You just need one button to attach it to the purse. We're going to start with the magic ring. The way I work on my magic ring is I wrap my yarn around my 2 fingers, crisscross it, hold it with my ring finger, go underneath the first circle, like that, and pick up a loop, go into your working yarn, and chain 1. We're going to work 6 single crochet. To work a single crochet, go into your ring, pick up a loop, like that. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Now you need 5 more. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's pull on our tail and I'll tighten the center, and our round 1 is finished. If you're having a hard time with your magic ring, what you can do is work 2 chains, and into your first chain work your 6 single crochets. For round 2, you're going to need some sort of a stitch marker. I'm using a piece of yarn, and go ahead and place it in front of your first single crochet. For round 2, we're just going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch around. So go into your first single crochet and work 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So that was 1, and this is 2. Repeat. Work 2 single crochets into each stitch around. Like that. So continue working and I'll meet you at the end of round 2. You should have 12 single crochets. For round 3, what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 single crochet into our first stitch and work 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Again, work 1 single crochet into the following stitch and work 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And that's the repeat. 1, 2, 1, 2. So here's my 1 single crochet, and then I'm going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Continue working and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. You should have 18 single crochets. For round 4, we're going to work 1, 1, 2. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 2 single crochets into the following stitch. And that's going to be our repeat. So we're going to work 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and work 2 single crochets into the following stitch. Like that. So continue working and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. You should have 24 single crochets. For round 5, we're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So here's 1, 2, and 3, and then work an increase. So work 2 single crochets into the following stitch. And that's the repeat. Work 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, so that's 2 and 3, and work 2 single crochet into the following stitch. So continue working and I'll meet you at the end of this round. You should have 30 single crochets. For round 6, we're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and work 2 single crochets into the following stitch. And that's our repeat. Work 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, 2, 3, and 4, and work 2 single crochets into the following stitch. So continue working and I'll meet you at the end of round 6. You should have 36 single crochets. For round 7 all the way to round 16, we're just going to work 1 single crochet around like this. I'm just going to work my single crochets around. So I'm going to continue working my single crochets for 10 rounds, and I'll meet you at the end of round 16 to show you what to do next. So here I worked on my 16 rounds of my purse, and this is how it looks like. Let's put it aside. Don't fasten off. We're going to attach our flap using this color, and I'll show you how to crochet the flap really quickly. I'm going to start with the slip knot, chain 2, and into my first chain I'm going to work 3 double crochets. So here's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets back into that same space. I'm trying to work my tail in as I go so I can tighten my center. If it's hard to do, don't worry about it. What we can do is we can use our tapestry needle and we'll sew it together at the end. So this is how row 1 looks like. Let's chain 1 and turn our work. Into our first stitch we're going to work 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 2. Into my next 2 stitches I'm going to work 1 double crochet. So here's 1 double crochet, and into the following stitch I'm going to work 1 more double crochet. Into the chain 2 space I'm going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and work 2 more double crochets back into the chain 2 space like that. And we're going to repeat the same thing on this side as we did here. So I'm going to work 1 double crochet into my stitch, go into my next stitch and work 1 more double crochet, and into my last stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets like that. So we're slowly increasing and it's turning out to be like a triangle. For row 3 we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and into the first stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and my second one worked into the same stitch. Into my next 5 stitches I'm going to work 1 double crochet. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That brings me to the chain 2 space right over here. My yarn is always stuck. Okay. So into the chain 2 space we're going to work 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 2, chain 2, and work 2 more double crochets back into that chain 2 space. Now we're going to repeat the same thing on this side as we did here. So let's work our double crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And into my last stitch, which is right over here, I'm going to work my 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 1 more back into that same stitch. So this is how it looks like. For our last round, let's chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to work 2 double crochets back into that first stitch. So here's 1 and 2. We're going to work our double crochets into each stitch until we get to our chain 2 space. So here's 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more, 8. Into the chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and work 2 more double crochets, like so. Now this chain 2 space that we created is going to go around our button. Okay, so now we're going to repeat what we did on this side. We're going to work our double crochets until we get to our last stitch, and into the last stitch we're going to work 2 double crochets. So here's 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and into our last stitch, let's work 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 2. And this is how it looks like. Let's go ahead and fasten off. So I like to chain 1 and cut my yarn. Where are my scissors? And this is how it looks like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach this flap to our purse, and I'll show you how that's done. So this is going to be on my side, right where I finished. And then this is going to be my second side. And what we're going to do, as best as we can, we're going to work single crochets attaching our flap to our purse. And the way I do it is, you have to decide where you want your front to be. Like, do you want this to show or do you want this to show? So, because the way we're going to be attaching it is this way, and then it's going to come around this way to the front. So make sure you decide on that first, and then place it right sides together and wrong sides facing us, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook right where we finished our 2 double crochets, right over here. I'm going to go into one of those double crochets, like that, and go into my following stitch of the purse, and I'm going to go ahead and work my single crochet, like so. Then I'm going to find any of the side of the stitches from our flap, like that, and picking up my following stitch of my purse and working a single crochet. Again, I'm going to repeat and picking up any of the side of the double crochet stitches and picking up my purse stitch and working a single crochet. And I'm going to continue working, picking up my stitches, making sure I don't skip any of the stitches from my purse right over here. I have to make sure I pick up all of my stitching. And like that, I'm going to continue working my single crochets along the side, like that. So here I came to the middle and I put one single crochet right in the middle. Don't forget to work your tails in. So here I have my one from the middle. I'm going to go ahead and work that tail in as I work my single crochets. So far I have my 8 single crochets worked and it brought me to the middle. I'm going to try and even them out and work 8 single crochets on this side as well. So I'm going to go into my next stitch and making sure I'm picking up my single crochet from my purse and working 1 single crochet. Take your time here so you don't skip any of the stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this tail off. All right, and it went right inside my purse. Now I have one more stitch left and I'm just going to place it anywhere I can into this stitch right over here where I finished off. I'm going to try picking up both of the loops and going into my next single crochet of my purse, and I'm going to place my last single crochet. And this is how it looks like so far. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to continue working single crochets on this side. And I'm going to try to work my tail in a little bit. Try to put it on the inside so it doesn't show as much. So here we finished and we put our single crochet right over here. I'm going to jump into my next single crochet right along this side, and I'm just going to work my single crochet. And then I'm going to continue and work my single crochets all around until I come to this spot right over here. And I'll show you how to work the chain. So here I finished my single crochets and I'm right where we started working on our flap, right over here. So what we need to do is we're going to chain 10 to 15 chains so we can attach our key ring holder. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to check, and I feel like 10 is not long enough for me, so I'm going to do chain of 15. Now you decide how many chains you want to do. So 3, 4, 5. So here's my chain of 15. Now to join our chain, I'm just going to go into the stitch where we started on our flap, right over here, and I'm going to slip stitch right in there, like that. Let's fasten off, cut our yarn, and this is how it looks like so far. So let's work on our tails really quickly and I'll show you how I do it. So put your work inside out. So I have one here and one here. I'm going to bring my yarn tail to the back and picking up any of the stitches like so, and attaching it that way, and then coming back, picking up again any of the stitches that I can, coming back up like so, and then one more time I'm going to try to find any of the stitches, and I'm going to bring my tapestry needle down like so, and I can cut it. All right, and then we have one more left right over here. This time I'm just going to go around the single crochets that I made for my first round, and I'm just picking up any of the ones that I can and just weaving it in. So now I'm going to go back and try to pick up any of the stitches that I can once again. And then one more time I'm going to go the opposite direction like that, and you're done. Now I'm using just the standard key ring holder. You can use any type you want, And I went ahead and I opened it up a little bit so my chains can go through. And carefully, what I'm going to do is put my chain right through that opening, like so. And you're gonna need some sort of pliers to close this in. I don't have it on me right now, but once I find it, I'm going to go ahead and close this gap right over here using pliers. All right, so try to find a button that's big enough for your tapestry needle to go through. I'm using a smaller tapestry needle, so it fits the buttonholes like that. So I can just put a couple of stitches and I'm done sewing it on. If you cannot find a button that's big enough for your tapestry needle, the buttonholes, you can just use regular needle and thread and sew it on with that. You can also glue on your button on using a hot glue gun, but that's not gonna last you for a long time. So just keep that in mind if you're going to use hot glue. So the way I attach my button, and I'm using a different color so you can see better, is I'm going to count starting from round 1, which is right over here. I'm going to count up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in between round 7 and 8, that's where I'm going to attach my button. And the way I do it is I place my button where I like it to go. So right over here, I'm going to hold it with my hand. So find your hole and bring out your needle. Now don't go all the way out. Leave a long tail inside your purse, like that. And then come back down into the other hole and go inside, like that. And pull out your needle. You don't need it. What we're going to do is we're just going to knot it. I like to knot mine about 4 times just for reinforcement. So here's my second, third, and one more. Or you can even stop at 3. Like that. Go ahead and cut your yarn tails. And you are done. So here's my button. It's all sewn on. And it fits pretty well. Like that. My key ring holder and my purse is all finished. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!